coming up in 10 minutes, we've got people from the Alberta Masters Games coming in, talking about how if you're over 30, you compete in a wide range of sports in Alberta for the first time.
They brought a pickleball. And a racket.
We should play some pickleball.
Well, they just brought one. So we would have to throw it at each other, but I'm in.
Okay.
You can play with yourself.
Oh.
So it's raining outside and scattered showers across the city. 12 degrees is what we're saying.
I feel very warm all of a sudden. I'm sweating. What's happening?
I'm trying to move on, and it'll be cooler and wet today.
Just gonna go play with myself.
We're children.
Oh, we are in the playground.
Welcome to Flyby Films once or twice a month using the magic of distance-defying tubes or some stupid shit like that. We get together to discuss films that either have been or will be forgotten. I'm Blake Collier, and sitting next to me in this tiny box, on the line, in Chico, California, is my friend and co-host, Jamison Barsotti. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the 1992 Disney family classic. Extra emphasis on classic. Man of the House, starring Jonathan Taylor Thomas of Home Improvement fame.
Simba.
And the one, the only, the piece of shit Chevy Chase. Oh, and Farrah Fawcett, who had nothing to work with in this movie. Yeah.
George Wendt was in it.
George Wendt was great in it. Like, but he's great in everything.
He was just very likable, and the one funny scene was when he and Chevy Chase had to like carry apples on their chins, and he was trying to have this heart to heart with them.
I'm actually going to go to bat for all of the dads except for Chevy Chase in the group, because I think they all were funny in their own way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I chose this one because this is our final episode of the year, and last year Jamison unwittingly started a new tradition for us by picking a really, really shitty film from his childhood. And I just thought, well, I might as well just continue on and pick a really shitty one from my childhood. And this one, for whatever reason, came up in my mind as one, especially in the wake of all of the horrid press that Chevy Chase has gotten over the last 5 years or so, 5 years to a decade. It just seems like perfection for the final episode of this year. Yeah. And I used to love this film. I remember waiting for the Disney weekend free trials that used to happen on cable TV. And I would like record on VHS the movies that I liked. And this was one of them. So, yeah, I don't have anything to justify myself. It was just young Blake being an idiot. And having no taste in film.
I have so many things to say, but the first thing I want to say in response to all of that is I always knew when there was like a free HBO weekend, because my dad would go out and he would buy all of the VHS tapes at Walgreens that he could. And yeah, he just recorded all of the movies that were available.
Dude, my recorded movie VHS collection back in the day was lit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had so many, and I would get like 2 or 3 movies on one tape.
Yeah,
it was, man.
That was.
Funny story. My grandmother used to record movies from like TNT and AMC, and back when AMC still showed like only old films.
Mm-hmm.
But she recorded Treasure of Sierra Madre, and because she knew my uncle really liked that movie a lot and wanted him next time he visited to be able to watch it. And something happened, and he was watching the movie the next time he came by, and they got to the very last 15 minutes of the movie, and it didn't record the last 15 minutes of the movie, and he was so pissed.
That was the danger with this game is, you might record over something. I definitely had a few VHSs like that. And
that's why you had to tape over the notch, man.
Yeah, you had to do it correctly. That brought back memories. Speaking of nostalgia, Blake, that was a good interesting practice. My other thing that I wanted to say was, first of all, fuck you. I didn't know that you just had this resentment towards what I put you through last year, that you carried a whole year, and you were like, you know what? I'm just going to end the year with a big fuck you to Jamison.
And you know what was so funny about that is I didn't go into picking this film as a fuck you, but it works, and so I'm gonna totally claim it. I'm gonna name it and claim it.
Name it and claim it. Good.
And
Good.
I think this is what we should do from here on out. The last movie of the year has to be really shitty from some point in our personal history.
I am putting together my list. I am already scheming, Blake, for next year.
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
So Jamison, last episode of the year. We've gotten through Thanksgiving. What's the plan for Christmas? What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
No, I don't give a shit what we're doing on the podcast.
Oh.
I want to know what you're doing in the family. I was just using the royal we. What are we doing here?
I am going to Astoria, Oregon.
Why?
Well, I mean,
why Oregon? No one likes that place.
I think it's okay.
I like the Redwoods, but the rest of them can fuck it. Sorry for anyone listening in Oregon.
The Greenwoods, the Whitewoods, the Orange Woods, all of the other woods.
All the woods.
All the woods.
Big fan of wood.
Yeah. But, no, my brother just moved to Astoria, and actually, there's a funny story. In October, my mom, who lives in Idaho, called us and said, hey, what do you guys think about coming to Idaho for Christmas? And I said, I'll get back to you on that. Now, the truth is, I then turned to my wife and said, we need to figure out what we can do for a week in Idaho. So we did some research and we talked about it, and we decided, it'd actually be kind of fun to spend some time with my mom. So I called my mom back like 2 weeks later, and I was like, we discussed it, we're in. And she's like, and I was like, what? And she's like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna be there. And I was like, wait, you're disinviting me to Christmas? And so she informed me that my brother, who was living with her at the moment, was moving to Astoria. She didn't want to leave him alone for the holidays, which is fine. I mean, I also don't... I'm not sure what the discussion was that said, I'll go to Astoria instead of you come to Idaho. But I was like, look, why don't we meet you guys in Astoria?
Well,
it's
to
about
be
the same
completely
difference.
fair, Jamison, you did wait 2 weeks to call her back. So
I did wait 2 weeks.
A lot of shit can happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah. A lot of shit does happen in 2 weeks. But yeah, I'm going to Astoria. I'm taking my family, and we're gonna stay in an Airbnb, and I'm gonna hang out with my mom and my brother. So that's
Beautiful.
that's my Christmas plan. So yeah. What about you?
Amarillo.
Amarillo.
Going to Amarillo on Christmas Day because we, as a family, have decided that we do not go anywhere during Advent. So, and until Christmas Day, and we do our morning thing with the kids, and then we go to wherever we're going, and not until that.
I think I remember you telling me this, and I
Yeah.
can't remember if we were talking on the podcast or not.
Probably
So
on the pod. Let's be honest.
yeah, I mean, Thad and Demetrius, if you're hearing this for the second time,
we're sorry.
I guess. Sorry. I don't know. Blake, I'm sorry for blowing up your spot, but how was your birthday?
Well, my youngest had a double ear infection during the weekend.
Great surprise.
So uneventful, which is fine because that's the way I kind of prefer my birthdays anyways. Now it made my son, Seamus's birthday the next day a little bit more difficult, and that's a bigger deal for him. But we were still able to invite one of his good friends from school and my wife and him went to Chuck E. Cheese that evening, and he got to play video games and eat pizza and all that good stuff.
Nice.
And so that was fun. I ended up taking my youngest to the in-laws for them to take care of for the very next day, because we did not have daycare otherwise, and he couldn't go back to school until 24 hours without fever. So yeah, that was my evening. I left at like 5:30 on Seamus's birthday and got back at 10 p.m. because my in-laws were at a basketball game, and they didn't get back till 9, and it's about an hour drive back. So I got back, and I told my wife, I'm still reeling over the fact that I have no idea how I lost 5 hours of my life just now. Like,
yeah,
literally to just take our son to lay him down to go to sleep. And then I sat on their couch and watched the final episode of The Chair Company to waste time until they got back. So I could then drive an hour back. Yeah.
That was on the day of Seamus's birthday. That wasn't your birthday.
No, that wasn't my birthday. Yeah.
Okay.
No, my birthday was just pretty laid back. We had a pretty typical Sunday, honestly.
Good.
So
that's good.
Yeah. So outside of him feeling like doo-doo, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm sorry about that. And Owen's doing better.
Oh yeah, he's better.
Good.
He's on day 7 almost of antibiotics. So getting knocked out.
That consistency, he's so good at that.
Man, he really is. The first time we tried to give him the antibiotics, we had to like force it on him.
Yeah.
And we were like, I didn't have that on my bingo card because he usually takes medicine really well. And so we were not looking forward to 10 days of it. And the very next time he did it like a champ, no issues. And he hasn't had any issues since. So I was like, just was that first day. Didn't care for it. Was not in the mood. So
that's good. That's good. Yeah.
But yeah, that was my birthday. Yeah. Thanksgiving was good.
That's
as good as Thanksgiving ever is for me.
You mean it's the best. So
yeah. Well, to our listeners, I sent Jamison a greeting. I didn't say happy Thanksgiving. I said happy Jamison's favorite holiday.
It is
And
my favorite holiday.
I still will never understand this, but yes, it is your favorite holiday.
Well, okay.
You already explained yourself.
Have I already explained that,
Yes,
like,
you've explained it on the pod. I remember this.
that it
And I still
it
don't
doesn't
understand.
I mean, okay. If you're able to, like, remove yourself from, like, family drama, which a lot of people aren't, sure, I get that. But, like, it's kind of nice because it's like no one really cares about it that much. Like, it's not the same level
It's
of,
not
like,
high stakes.
It's not high stakes. It's high poultry.
Nicely done.
It's no, I mean, it's kind of like a forgotten holiday, but I just love spending the entire time in the kitchen if I can and just making things. So, like, I don't know. It also, like, gives me a chance to, like, try new baking skills and cooking skills and just, experiment, because normally I'm not cooking for a bunch of people. So,
yeah, I can't remember, did you tell the onion cake story on air?
I don't know if I told the onion cake story on air. So, you know what? This is a day of doubles. I'm sure we're going to tell the same stories. I actually made two really, really intense cakes that week. Did I send you a picture of the other one?
No. But I'm glad that it was definitely intense and not outside of tense.
Yeah. No, I did. You commented. You'll remember. I'll tell you. Okay. And you'll be like, okay. Oh. So the onion cake, the story was that my sisters, their birthdays were the 23rd of November, which I think we actually maybe recorded that day. But so I hadn't finished the onion cake yet.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So
yeah, because it was the next night that you were going to have them over.
Yeah, I haven't told the story. So I was making a cake for my sisters and for their birthday, and I asked them what they wanted, and they said funfetti, which I guess, okay, you're 34 years old, but you can have a child's cake, I guess. No, I'm actually into the idea of making a funfetti cake from scratch. So I made a funfetti cake, but then they had to throw in just this dumb joke where they were like, "Oh, make sure there's no onions and celery," and I was like, "Okay, fine. Why would there be?" But then I couldn't stop thinking about that comment, and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna make the cake look like an onion," and I made the cake look like an onion.
So can you tell me what type of onion you were aiming for? Was it a purple onion?
Yeah, it was like a
that's what I thought.
Red onion, yeah.
Oh, red? Do you call it red and not purple?
Yeah, we call them red onions. I've never heard purple onion until this moment.
Okay, well,
it makes sense. It is purple. I will give you that. I'm not telling you you're crazy.
I mean, you can tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. You wouldn't be the first or the last to tell me that.
I don't know. I don't even know, like, does red even naturally show up in food? Oh, tomatoes. Yeah. Duh. That would be true. That would be something that's red. Catsup. Watermelon. I guess there aren't
watermelon. Does watermelon really show up red though when you like grind it up? I guess it does. Sort of.
It's more pink. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a pink. Like it's almost a diluted pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate watermelon, by the way.
Lame.
I hate all melons.
Oh.
Like melons as a category, I'm not a fan of. Anyways, back to your onion cake.
Blake, are you more into dump trucks or melons?
Dump trucks.
Okay, I figured. Yeah. Are you a dump truck man or a melon man? I guess you're not a melon man.
I feel bad for your sisters though that they're not a fan of onions.
they're not a fan of onions.
Celery, I totally understand because it tastes like shit.
Well, actually, here's the thing. I don't like celery, but I do like the flavor of celery. Like, there is like a weird flavor, but like, have you ever had? I don't know.
Tastes like dirty dish rag.
I don't think so. I don't like the texture of celery. I don't mind raw celery, but when you cook, like, it is so gross in your mouth. Like, cooked celery, I can't stand it.
No.
Yeah,
Cooked or raw, just fuck it all. Man.
But I do like the flavor of celery.
The only way people can get me to eat celery is if they cut it up so finely that I can't tell it's in there.
So I do like to do that because when you cook something with celery and they're large celery chunks, it's disgusting. But little ones, and like I said, I think it actually adds an interesting flavor. But celery actually didn't come up into play at all. I just was like,
although I would have been more impressed if you had made a celery shaped cake.
If I made a celery cake, well, I will say making an onion cake was actually kind of challenging because to get that dome, I mean, you could just like cut it to do that, but like what I did was I just stacked 2 cylinders and then I baked some in a bowl and I made that the top. So it was actually like a 3-layer. And what I did was I just made the illusion like it was in the ground and I put some Oreos around it.
Yeah.
And so,
which was brilliant.
Yeah. And it was really fun to do like the color gradient. So, you know, there was a little bit of white and red or purple in it. And I made that with like raspberry preserves. Yeah, it was it was tasty. It actually was a little dry, but the look was really good. And I put like green candles at top for the green onion stems.
So basically, you were a fucking failure.
I was, but Blake, I will tell you, the next cake I made that week was the shit. It was so good.
Okay, remind me of what this cake was.
It was a duck cake. Have you ever seen?
Oh yeah, the duck cake.
Have you ever seen the duck cake episode of Bluey?
No.
Okay, so
there's still episodes of Bluey I have not seen.
And that's fine. That's fine.
I just want to point out right now in this moment, because I feel like you've talked about the episodes of Bluey in the past, and I haven't lorded this over you. But I do recall on earlier episodes of this very podcast, I was trying to convince you to watch Bluey, and you're like, I don't know, man. I don't really go for shows that have such hype around them, you know, whatnot. And I was like, no, seriously, like, dude, like, adults like this show more than kids do. It's that good.
Okay, but
and you've seen the whole fucking show, and I still haven't seen the whole fucking show.
Yeah, but that actually annoys me about kids shows is when adults like them too much. And I'm like, this is just let the kids enjoy it. And it was Hazel that won me over to this.
Yeah.
So like,
all right.
I don't give a shit about like what Bluey's parents' relationship with their, you know, neighbors or anything like that, any like lore about Bluey, but like people get into it and I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Can you tell Hazel to send me his direct deposit, because he actually he did his job. I told him to do it, and now I've got to pay the piper. So
yeah, it was definitely a side.
Matter of fact, if you just want to put if you just want to name the direct deposit number on air, that would be fine too. I doubt anyone's gonna do anything with it.
Do you need my social security number?
Yeah. Make sure it's the same. It's the right account. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, is it in your name? Or is it in Kira's name?
I think it ends with 80087.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's easy enough to remember.
Yeah. That's the boobs. That's what people would put into their calculator, and then.
Yep. Wait. Wasn't it 80085?
I don't remember. I don't know. You know what? Fuck you, David Fincher. This is his fault that I thought S was 7. This isn't my fault.
Fucking
for
Fincher.
Not remember. Yeah.
Fincher, the guy who's supposed to know, like, down to the detail how this shit works, and he got such a simple thing wrong.
Putting
Fucking
the
asshole.
7. Also,
You single-handedly made me dislike him.
Also, I'm getting it completely upside down because he put it in for the V. He didn't even put it in for the S. I guess I have to apologize to David Fincher now.
Okay, well, I like him again, so.
Okay.
He's still in my top 5 directors because of this, so.
Oh, okay. But I do want to say a 7 is not a V. Even if I was wrong.
Yeah, no one knows why he did that shit.
No one knows. Anyway, yes, Hazel got me onto the Bluey train. I fully admit I was skeptical. I'm glad it's a good show. I don't care about the lore. I can hold it at that together. I'm fine with it. But I will make cakes from that TV show.
Yeah.
So there's an episode where Bluey's sister Bingo is having a birthday party, and there's actually like 2 episodes that are connected, but one of them is all about the dad making a cake for Bingo, and she wants a duck cake, and so he's struggling to make it, and he's also watching.
I do
Bluey.
remember this one now that you two are talking about it,
and so he makes this like weird kind of, crappy version of a duck cake, and she loves it. But Hazel, as his birthday was approaching, Kira was like, "What cake do you want, Hazel? Dad's gonna make it for you." And he was like, "Duck cake." And I was like, "Oh, great. I gotta make a duck cake." So it turns out this is actually like, I know I said I didn't care about lore, but this was a task that I had to do. Turns out there's a famous Australian recipe for this specific cake that the show was referencing. And so there's like a magazine article with, how to do this cake. And so like it's being passed around online. I found a recipe for it. I followed it. But I got to shape this cake and make it, and it looked like a duck. Or it looked
taste like a duck.
It looked like it didn't taste like a duck. It didn't float like a duck either.
Did in the middle of it? Did it just have like a center of like foie gras?
I actually had to when it was made, I had to shove frosting into it
into
to soften it. To soften
like
it up.
Its butt.
Yeah, that's how I made it taste so good. No, it was just like a vanilla cake, but shaped like a duck, and then I got to, decorate it like a duck. The funny thing is, there were a bunch of people who came to the party. Like, this cake looked good. Like, if you've seen the episode, it actually looks better. It looks like what it's supposed to in the episode, but Bluey's dad fucks it up. But like,
Bandit.
I will sometimes call him Banjo to Hazel, my son, who I can't remember the name of either. And so Hazel started saying Banjo back, and then Kira started getting really upset because his name is not Banjo. His name is Bandit. And then I finally corrected. I wasn't doing it on purpose, I swear. But the cake looked really good. But the thing is, the cake looks really doofy on purpose. And so there were people that didn't know the context of duck cake that came to the party and they were like, did Jamie make this? What is it? And so we had to kind of explain, like, no,
I mean,
it's
come on,
supposed
guys.
to look like that.
Like, even if you don't know Bluey, like,
I know.
he made a fucking cake to look like a duck. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no,
Fucking assholes.
It was Kira's parents that and
Oh, okay.
Kira's uncle.
Well, my apologies, because I actually like your father-in-law. So
No, yeah.
he's not he's not an asshole.
They're very likable. I think that they get confused by jokes and things that I do sometimes. So
That's fair.
They have their own very family type of humor, which I don't always get on board with, and they don't always get on board with my stuff. Not that a duck cake is even like that. I guess like the idea of making a duck cake would be kind of a weird like Varsody thing. Like I don't think I don't think my my father-in-law would really go for that normally.
Yeah.
But I did make him a cake once that was the Lord of the Rings books stacked
I remember
together,
that one.
and he really liked that.
Yeah.
Actually, that was a pretty good one. They looked all warped and stuff, but it was still good. So.
Okay, so real quick, and then I've got something I've got to ask you. And you can tell me if it's not a story for the pod. And then you can shame me. This is just a comment, and you don't have to respond to it. Matter of fact, I'd prefer you not respond to it. Why have you not become a baking influencer?
Do you want me to say anything?
I mean, I gave you the option. I just told you I would hate you if you did. So,
yeah.
You told me that you had a weird ass story.
I do.
And is this story appropriate for the podcast?
It is. It's not that weird, and it's actually
because
something
I've been waiting for like 4 days now to hear this story, and I want to hear it now.
Do you want the backstory?
Well, we're 31 minutes into the pod, so maybe a quick backstory.
Yeah,
like Reader's Digest a backstory, and then give me the full like weird story.
Okay. So here is the story. I'll chop off a lot of the backstory.
Okay.
The story is that on Thursday, my wife got Lasik, which is something that happens to your eyeballs.
Not Nifik.
Not Nifik. Yeah, which isn't actually a thing. I hope you know that, Blake.
Oh, I know.
So
I'm the one who called it out.
Yeah. So Lasik, if you've never heard of it, I don't know. It's a very popular eye procedure that allows people who traditionally wear glasses, actually, and usually they have to be kind of at a certain age. So like in their 20s to 30s, I think when you push 40, you start to kind of age out of that zone. But I think the procedure is about 20 years old at this point, maybe a little bit older than that. But the idea is that they cut part of your eye off, and then they take a laser to smooth things down, and then they put it back. And what's weird about it is they don't like sew it back on, because you can't sew things onto your eye. So you think like, oh, well, how do they reattach it? They don't. They just let your eye goop
naturally
over this thing.
Yeah.
and it well, it doesn't quite always seal too, because you're not supposed to play like contact sports after you've had LASIK. There's like other types of procedures for people who play like football that
Mhm.
need a LASIK type thing. There's something
Yeah.
called PRK and stuff. But like but yeah, like it could like fly off again, like if you were in a
Yeah.
car accident or something like that. Not that these things
Which is
happen
badass,
that
honestly.
frequently, yeah. But yeah, it would be, it'd be bad. So uh you know, it's a medical procedure. Um it's not really covered by insurance. So I guess insurance companies don't think of it as necessary, but my wife went through the process and was found that she was a candidate for it. She's worn glasses all her life, so she
Mhm.
was, looking forward to do this. I was nervous. She was a little bit nervous too, but she read through all of the like horror stories and like all of the different things, and then still decided to go for it. Like, she's the one who has to kind of experience the glasses, so like I don't know what that's like. I've never had to wear glasses in my life. Blake, are you wearing reading glasses or those prescription glasses?
No, these are prescription.
Yeah.
And
so,
I have no interest in getting LASIK. I have no problem with glasses. They don't bother me.
Yeah, I think it's a range. Like some
Yeah.
people, do you ever wear contacts or do you just wear
I
glasses?
did at one point. I've got some just in case, like I break my glasses or something, and I have to like go to the eye doctor to get more. And I've got some that can tide me over, but I don't wear them unless I absolutely have to. So
yeah, I've been told that I will eventually need glasses because everybody eventually needs glasses as they get older. But yeah, I've been blessed with just great vision, so I like haven't ever had to really deal with that world.
Yep.
So,
My wife is on the verge of getting bifocals.
Oh.
So that's fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Oh, it's a blast.
I'm
probably not far off, honestly. So
does she have interest in LASIK at all?
I don't honestly know. And she may have aged out. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just depends. So,
and I think, I'm not an optometrist, so I don't know like how they make those decisions.
yeah.
She might not have interest in LASIK after the story. Or maybe she will. I don't know. So the story goes like this. This was Thursday, so it was like 4 days ago. That we went in. The procedure is so quick. Like, so I go with Kira. It's like 4:00 when we go to the center that does the LASIK. And there's some waiting in the waiting room, and then they go in. I think the whole thing like takes like 15 minutes. So it's just really quick thing. They do it really fast. Then they come out. Kira's a little dazed. They gave her like a Valium to deal with this, and then they give us some take-home paperwork. The doctor says everything went fine. It's good. Yeah. Okay. So we're all kind of good at that point. Kira's a little like woozy, kind of not feeling all right. But like, they tell her like just go and rest. Like that's the best thing. And then, in a couple hours you might start feeling better. You might start feeling better tomorrow, whatever. So we go home. Kira's resting. She has to wear like eye shields and things like that and take antibiotics. So there's aftercare. And then, kind of continues on. I ask her how she's doing, and she's like, there's some pain. But all of this is kind of normal at this stage. She's a little bit extra grouchy, so I'm like, hey, I know you just had a major thing, but you're kind of grouchy. Do you want to just go into the room and just like, you don't need to
Not
be out here.
interact
We
with
don't need
anybody.
you. Like, yeah, it's fine. And she does that, but then, she starts coming back out and she's like, it's really hurting. Like, I don't know. And I was like, how? Like, can you explain it? So we like start talking about it, and I'm like, well, I start kind of looking up things, and it's still kind of in the realm of like, this is probably normal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the they said nothing really bad happened, so
Please tell me that her flap didn't come off.
no, it didn't come
Okay,
off.
thank God.
We didn't. Yeah, not that bad. But I'm like, try to get some sleep, and so she tries again, but she's like, it's so painful that I can't get to sleep, and I was like, okay, we probably like need to like do something at this point. So
Yeah.
I look on the post care stuff. There's a couple numbers. There's one that you're supposed to call, if you need to get a hold of them. This point, it's kind of verging on. It's like 5:30 ish. So I'm like, okay, let me call. Goes to an answering machine. I leave an answer. I call again just to make sure I didn't miss like a pathway to like get a hold of someone, because they usually have answering services. They don't. So there was the surgery center, and then there's the doctor's office where she's going to a post op the next day. So they have a number, and so I'm like, okay, let me call that. That one has a way to get through to an answering service. So I like talk with someone, and they're like, I've never heard of these doctors before in my life. I was like, that's absurd. Some of them work for the place that I'm calling, so please help me. At this point, Kira is like really feeling a lot of pain. She's describing it as someone stabbing one of her eyes, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
So I'm like trying to get a hold of anybody. I end up calling like 4 numbers by the end of this, and getting a hold of someone who's not related to the Lasik surgery center at all. So like, and they're like, okay, this person is gonna call back in like 30 minutes. I was like, hey, how does that sound? And Kira's like, can we just go to the emergency rooms? So we like start the path to do that. We've got Hazel, so I call like 5 people, and then the first person to pick up, I'm like, hey, it's my sister Casey who lives in the area. I'm like, hey, are you available? And she says, yeah, sure. When do you need me? And I was like,
now.
Well, we need to go to the emergency room, so anytime you can is great, but now would be best. And she was like, oh yeah, of course. And then so her and her partner show up, and they watch Hazel. We go to the emergency room. Kira can't like open her eyes at this point, so she's like essentially blind. I'm like having to guide her around. So it's like nighttime, and we're moving around. We get in line, and then the guy calls me back right as we're like in line, and he talks to me a little bit. He's like, did they say to go to the emergency room? I was like, dude, like, all due respect, like, no, they didn't. They said to call 911, but I can't get a hold of anybody. So I'm just going to a place where there is someone. I'm taking my way. And he's like, that wasn't a criticism. I'm just wondering what aftercare. I was like, I understand what you're trying to do. And so he's like, to be completely honest, the emergency room can't help you. They don't have the equipment to like look at eyes in this way. So you need to like go and be seen by an ophthalmologist or an optometrist. And so I was like, yeah, okay, that's you, right? And he's like, yeah. So come and see me at my practice, at this time. I'm going to try to get a hold of the person who did the surgery, because that's the person who should actually be seeing her. He couldn't even get a hold of them. So like,
oh wow.
Yeah, so like I meet him. He's great. He was very professional. we apologized for ruining his evening, but like he was like, no, this is fine. Like I this is important. You did the right thing. He ends up finding like a scratch on her cornea,
Ooh.
just an abrasion. But so the thing about that is that can happen. That actually doesn't mean that it's a bad surgery, and that will heal.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But the thing about eyes is, my sister, another sister, actually works at an optometrist's office, and so I was like telling her the story, and she was explaining that fingers have nerve endings everywhere, like distributed everywhere. And so if you cut yourself on your finger knows to tell you, oh, you cut yourself right there. It's a small cut. That's where it is. It's a pain in the ass, but it's not. Someone didn't come and cut your finger off. Like you can
But
distinguish.
that's not the case with eyes.
That eyes, no, you don't. You've got like one nerve, and so you do a cut in your eye, and it's like, oh, you're losing your eyeball right now, and that's what your brain is communicating, and so it just overreacts like that, and so given the fact that she just had major eye surgery, she didn't know if her body was like rejecting her eyes or what was going on, and so all in all, it was fine. He gave her like a bandage contact, and put it on her eye, and then after that it felt fine. She was able to get to sleep. She for all like everything about the surgery seemed to take exactly how it should, and she can see better, and everything seems to be going fine, and it's progressing as it should now. So in that's fine. But so I had texted you. I was like, "Oh, my wife is getting Lasik right now," while I was like in the early times of my evening.
Yeah.
And then you texted. I didn't text you back when it was done, which you probably wouldn't have liked. You probably just would have heard, "Oh, it's done." That was fast, and then that would have been the end of it. But then you texted me, like I think it was when I was like coming home from getting her seen, and you were like, "Hey, is she done yet?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, but also there's a part 2 to all of this." So, and then I made you wait so I could tell you.
It's funny you were talking about the nerves on the eye or the nerve on the eye, because I've had the same pain that she's had when I got a piece of metal in my eye.
Yeah.
And I recall going to the optometrist, and he got out a drill and had to like drill into my eye to get at the piece of metal so that he could get it loose. And just seeing the drill, like, it doesn't hurt, but it tickles because it's like vibrating your eye, and it's a whole thing. It's an experience like no other. But man, after it's taken care of, the pain is the pain relief is just like unbelievable. Like it's like one of the worst pains I've ever experienced. So I totally whenever you were saying it was an abrasion on the eye, I was like, oh yeah, I felt that before. That's not fun at all. Yeah. Oof. That's brutal.
Yeah. So the aftermath, she messaged the surgery center and was like, "Hey, I think everything went well with the surgery, but we had a horrible experience last night. You guys need to look at how your phones are set up, because they were supposed to have gone through to another person, and that would have like short circuited a lot of turmoil." so my wife was like, I won't leave you a bad review if you fix this. So, but, but like, please do, or else I will tell people, like, don't, this was my experience. So, yeah. So they were like, oh, yeah,
well,
we've escalated it. We'll fix it. Yeah.
Please, God. Yes, we'll fix it now. So, before we talk about Man of the House, you were going to ask a question. Man of House. You were going to ask a question.
Oh, yes.
So ask it.
It's related to Man of the House. So can we do?
This will be a nice lead-in.
Yeah. So Man of the House, 1995 Disney movie starring.
Was it 95? I said 92. Shit. Whatever.
95. Yeah. Starring Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Chevy Chase. The actor,
George
not
Wendt.
the town.
Yes.
Just to clarify,
which the town is way better than the actor.
Is it?
I don't know, but I would assume so. Yes.
That one has always confused me. Like the town and the actor. Like what is this? What does it mean? What does Chevy Chase mean? That wasn't the question, so don't answer that. So the question was, I think a few days back, maybe like a week ago, you posted this in a group chat with friend of the podcast, Aaron Bergstrom.
Yeah.
You posted that you were making me watch this movie, and he made a comment saying, a very specific type of family movie.
Yeah.
And, I think you and I have been kind of laughing about that since then. And it's true. The 90s, and particularly Disney, though not just Disney, there was a very, very unique type of family film, kind of pseudo comedy, but not quite. I don't know. A lot of times it was
a little bit just like bordering transgressive in some ways, and but also super Disney family friendly at the same time.
Yeah, and it was a lot of times it was like dads and sons.
Yeah,
and that was the big thing, was dad and son. Sorry, ladies. I'm sure there was a few ladies ones out there, but it wasn't as common.
No, not during that time, anyways.
Yeah. So, given that, Blake, do you have a favorite from this subgenre of family film?
So, you do ask me this question earlier before we started recording, and if I had more time to kind of sift through some of the selections from this time period in Disney, I probably would be able to tell you some, but I'm going to tell you one that isn't Disney, or at least I don't think is Disney, as is a family movie, not in the same way as this one. Like, it's not like a family dramedy ish. But it was the one I was going to possibly pick over this one before I decided to go full force into this one. And that was Three Ninjas.
Yes.
Do you remember Three Ninjas?
So you brought up VHS recordings.
Yep.
Three Ninjas was on one of those VHSs.
Oh, yeah. Same here.
And you know how I remember that? I remember exactly where it was. It's because my dad spelled ninjas with a G. So it said three ningas on the thing, and and that always stuck out.
And the other one that came to my mind was Cop and a Half, which was Burt Reynolds, and it was kind of a father-son movie, and in a weird way, in that Burt Reynolds played a cop who ended up protecting a little boy who saw something, saw a crime happen. And so he ends up kind of riding around with Burt Reynolds as a cop. And there's this weird like father-son kind of relationship that forms by the end of the movie, which was big at the time. Like if you think about like action movies at the time, you had like Last Action Hero, which was like Arnold Schwarzenegger and the middle school / high school age guy. And then you had like Mercury Rising, where Bruce Willis was like had the boy with autism, and like it was a whole thing. Like at the time, it was very successful like plot device to have like a man take care of a kid in some like action format. So
was there
Kindergarten Cop?
Kindergarten Cop, yeah, because it wasn't just there was a specific kid in the classroom that he was there to,
exactly.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of. Now that my mind is kind of oiled up, I am remembering there was 3 Men and a Baby, and that was
the 80s. Yeah,
true. That was a little bit before this.
Yeah,
but
part of me thinks that one might hold up.
Well, yeah, you had the
Ted Danson, Tom Selleck, and Gutenberg.
Yeah,
I mean, can you go wrong with those three?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, you're like, yes, you can.
I'm sure they've done bad things, but each of them individually is better than Chevy Chase.
Easily, by far. So you haven't dropped any hints for me, or at least if you have, it totally went totally under my radar.
This movie, I'm going to give you 2 hints.
Okay.
This movie has a magical realism to it.
Okay.
Well, I guess it really is actually kind of in the fantasy realm. One of the main actors in it, the kid actor, is still a famous person, a celebrity to this day. So as opposed to Man of the House, where Jonathan Taylor Thomas definitely had a divorce at some point with Hollywood for, probably better, which is great.
I actually went on a deep dive here, so we can talk about that later.
We'll talk about that. So this guy, but it seems to have worked out for this person. So they're not, I'm sure there was like a few dark nights of their soul when they were transitioning to like from child actor to like whatnot. And then, do you have any other questions? So those are my 2 hints.
I have no idea. The magical realism is throwing me off.
Yeah, sorry. This is sports. This is a sports ball movie.
Oh, I know what it is.
You know what it is.
Angels in the Outfield.
Yes, that's
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That was a weird like relationship between him and what's his name? Christopher Lloyd. Danny Glover. Yeah, but Christopher Lloyd was the angel, right?
Christopher Lloyd was the angel. Yeah. So he was like the main angel. I guess there were multiple angels that were helping them.
Otherwise, it would have just been Angel in the outfield.
Yeah. I have never looked up until right now how well that movie was received. It does not have a very high Rotten Tomatoes score. it is so the critics seem to hate it, but it did spawn a bunch of other types, like, you know, angels in the football stadium or whatever
Yep.
it was called, end zone.
I saw it in the theater when it came out.
Yeah,
I remember seeing it.
I was a big fan of this, and we had the VHS. We had the actual VHS, not recorded VHS in this one.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. But the Cinema Score gave the film an A on their scale, so it seemed like people liked it. So I think it was well received by the people, even if it wasn't well received by the critics.
And that's really all that matters. Fucked critics.
Maybe. I think I do think Angels in the Outfield has a better chance of being better than Man of the House.
Oh,
I will
by
say,
far, because it has Danny Glover in it.
It has Tony Danza, Danny Glover, Christopher Lloyd, and
Who's the
Joseph
boss,
Gordon-Levitt.
bitch?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a good movie. I wouldn't go so far as to commit to that it must be a good movie, but I do think it's maybe one of the more interesting ones. But yeah, that's definitely the one that sticks in my mind, and I was definitely a huge fan of as a kid.
So yeah, Jamison, what did you think of Man of the House?
I just was like waiting for the clock to run out. I mean, no. So this is what happened. I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to like understand what's going on. And at one point, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, right in the beginning, talks about, and then we moved into this yucky loft, but we made it our home. And it's just the most beautiful, like, giant Seattle loft you've ever seen in your life.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay. There's magical realism in this movie, too. No, and then, Farrah Fawcett is in it, and for some reason she's attracted to Chevy Chase.
Which makes no sense.
Well,
outside of him being tall.
Yeah, that was when I texted you. I was like, what is his sex appeal? Is it just that he's around funny people and tall?
I think it might be that he's one of those guys that, like, you get to a certain point and you just give up. And so, like, he seems like a nice guy, so that's who you go for. But you're not really, like, attracted to him, or, like, but you're like, I just need someone that is not going to beat me or be an asshole, which would have been a massive bait and switch because Chevy Chase is an asshole.
Well, so this is like, that's kind of the weirdness about this movie is like you've got Farrah Fawcett, who is a total babe, and she's almost 50 when this movie comes out. And I think Chevy Chase is probably also pushing 50 too, but she's like in her 30s in the movie. But like that's kind of believable because she's a total babe, but like then they're pairing her up with Chevy Chase, who it's exactly what you're saying. His character in the movie, and I think they're trying to like balance like why Jonathan Taylor Thomas doesn't like him, but they're not giving any reason why he would even be in this situation. Other than stability. But then the weird thing is like Farrah Fawcett's character, and this is like all part of this, is like they have it like figured out. It's not like and yeah, I get you're looking for love, and maybe in your 30s as a single mom or like a single parent, you start to maybe get less choosy than you were in your 20s or something. I don't know. I don't really know what they're playing with in the setup here. But yeah, I mean, Chase just doesn't, and they don't really do much to make him kind of badass. Like, yeah, he stands up to the mob, but that is so cartoony. These like scenes of the mob in Seattle, which doesn't make any sense. Just feel like they're right out of a cartoon, and it doesn't seem badass at all. Anyway,
yeah,
I
struggle with this movie's setup in general. But while I wouldn't say I'm near as progressive as I was back in, like, I don't know, 2016 to 2018, somewhere around there, I was kind of taken aback by some of the mawkishness when it came to Native American beliefs. It was a bit much. Now, okay, yeah, sure. There's some of it that can be kind of, funny in a at least they had the one native character as a token character, and he was kind of silly too, and cartoonish in his own way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I also love that they picked a song from Enigma.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say you didn't appreciate Return to Innocence.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's highly listenable.
I disagree. I disagree. That song is garbage.
It's the sampling I like. It's not the singing. I could care less about the bullshit, like, inspirational, like, messaging that's going on in the song. Screw that. But yeah, the sampling is, he clearly knows what he's doing. Like, it's not bad.
Okay.
But then tying that in with, like, at the time when they're learning how to rain dance, and the whole, like, I don't know, like, really, this one Indian guide's, like, setup would have actually caused Jonathan Taylor Thomas to, like, actually kind of like Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. Well, I don't buy it, and I definitely don't buy it by the end whenever Chevy Chase, like, gets his brakes cut. And then there's this, like, moment where, like, Jonathan Taylor Thomas is, like, blubbering as he waits for Chevy Chase to show up, and he's, like, going back to seeing his actual father, like, drive away with his secretary. And I'm like, no, that is bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Yeah, I think it was so frustrating that, like, Chase's character didn't try to explain, like, I was in this wild accident. Sorry, I couldn't pick you up.
Literally, the only way he could have protected Farrah Fawcett and Jonathan Taylor Thomas was to tell them the truth.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I think it just doesn't make any sense. It's also funny because they, the Native American handling in the movie, there's one point where he has, like, a reaction, like a skin reaction, and it supposedly looks like, in the movie they say it looks like war paint. Whatever that is. But, like, so the idea is that, like, oh, it's offensive in that context, but then the whole movie, and it's the same Native American character who's both offended, but then it's like, oh yeah, let's rain dance in the park with all these white boys. No, I think I texted you. I was like, it's crazy to me that this movie came out the same year as Dead Man. Which, I think Dead Man also gets a little bit of flack for some of its handling of things, but a lot of
But
that
it's at
is
least a
like,
way more interesting film
well,
in
it's
that
also
it's actually trying to get at something. Like,
yeah, you know, it's also like aware of a lot of that too.
yeah,
Like some of it it's crossing lines intentionally, but like, it's trying to, I don't know, this one just felt like whatever, like we're going to acknowledge that, Native Americans are real, but also we're going to interpret it however we want.
and we're gonna do this in Seattle. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
One of the most progressive cities in the world. No,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's always been that way. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm
No.
pretty sure you would have gotten like paint thrown on you in the park
Yeah.
if you were doing a rain dance and you're a bunch of white guys.
Yeah, no. That was definitely a hard thing to watch. Just
Now,
how
now
cringy it was.
to be fair, all the fathers and the Indian guides, I will go to bat for each one of them because that was probably the only enjoyable part of this movie. Let's see, Art Lafleur, was that his name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the only thing I've really known him from, and it's probably a movie we'll watch at some point on this podcast, is The Replacements.
Yeah.
He's a coach, and he's hilarious in it. And I thought he was hilarious playing the rule following. Like, I thought that was a great character.
The rules barrister. Yeah.
And watching George, like, because in a lot of ways, George Wendt and him were kind of like the classic straight guy and like silly, like, and so them playing off of each other was pretty funny. A lot of times. And then, of course, the other dad who would do the like mime, like
the mime.
He was a carnival guy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's stupid, but also like he was good at it.
No. Clearly, his talents were being wasted in this movie, but
yes,
but it was definitely talent.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sure.
But man, the kids in this movie were milk toast. Woo.
Yeah.
I mean, so I did read up on Jonathan Taylor Thomas because I was a Home Improvement kid. I've probably watched every episode when I was growing up.
You went in for the little boy vocal fry.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was the one thing.
God.
So sorry,
no.
Kira couldn't watch the movie because she had just had LASIK done, but she was like, I'm going to listen to it. And I was like, okay, I don't know why you want to do this.
She probably had a better experience with it, honestly.
That's true. No, she fell asleep like 15 minutes in. But yeah, that was the one thing that she's like, what in the vocal fry is going on with this kid's voice? And I was like, Kira, it's Simba. And she's like, oh, yeah. Anyway, continue.
No, so I did a deep dive on all the characters from Home Improvement because it was one of those listicle articles that tells you where they are or where they ended up and whatnot. Yeah, you got the Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and that dude like full up just like said adios muchachos and like left Hollywood and went back to school. He went to like Columbia and like St. Andrews in Scotland or something, and he just like became a student. Like he was just like, I enjoyed being around a bunch of books and like doing my thing, and like now he writes like stuff, and like he'll occasionally show up in like reunion stuff for like Home Improvement, but other than that, like he's more of a fan of being behind the camera than he is. Like I think he doesn't act intentionally. And he's probably the most of all the three kids in that show. He's the only one that like ended up being fairly well adjusted.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, if he had good parents, he probably, because he was. I think what's surprising about this is like you couldn't go to the store in the 90s without seeing his face on the cover of magazines. Like he was so poised for being the hottest guy to ever grace the silver screen, and then he decided to say he did a couple movies like in the 2000s, Disney movies specifically.
Yep.
And maybe part of it was like they weren't big hits or anything like that, but I'm sure he was still a big name when all these things like kind of happened, and he decided to like say adios. But yeah, I think too, like, not to say he's bad looking now, he's not, but he clearly like is not doing the same things that you need to like stay kind of in the public eye in celebrity, and he seems completely fine with that. Like, I think I saw a picture of him just like standing outside smoking in a beanie, and I was like, oh,
exactly.
This guy looks like he just got off of his shift at Starbucks,
Yeah, exactly.
And but yeah, I mean, I'm sure at the same time, if his parents were smart, they probably set him up well with.
And
he probably doesn't.
Improvement's still in syndication. Like, it's not like he's getting royalties off that show forever. I mean,
he probably doesn't have to think about money, which is great.
No.
I'm sure that's freeing, but like also
I don't know if I don't know how royalties work in the age of streaming, though. Admittedly, so maybe he's not getting as much as he used to. But
I'm guessing he made enough where they could set up a trust for him, and he's just like set.
He's set.
And again, maybe not. I don't know. But like, and that's not a dig. Like, there are people in this life that that you meet that are also in that situation, normal people. So like, I'm not trying to say anything about that. I'm just happy that he made it out pretty unscathed, which was good.
Yeah.
So
I remember, you were talking about going into a convenience store or a grocery store in the 90s and not being able to throw a stone without seeing his face on something. I feel like him and Jonathan Brandis. Do you remember Jonathan Brandis?
I do not at all.
Is it Jonathan Brandis? He was in like the second Neverending Story or something like that. He was in like Sequest something. He was also in Ladybugs, which had Rodney Dangerfield. He dressed up as a girl to be on the girls' soccer team.
I remember this kid, but this one's sad.
Yeah, he killed himself, but
yeah.
But I remember he was huge, like as far as like at the time in the 90s, like he was everywhere too. One could write a Dickensian book about this and call it The Tale of Two Jonathans.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was totally random side note, but his name popped in my head as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care for this movie.
Yeah. Well, I think what this movie made me realize is I don't care for Chevy Chase. And like, I think this is a weird one because growing up, Chevy Chase is in some really great movies. Like, I honestly, my family didn't really go for Christmas Vacation, but I can recognize, there's some value in that movie.
I haven't watched it in probably 25 years. I'm not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan. So,
but there's Caddyshack and some other things too.
But he's never the one I remember from Caddyshack.
So I think this is where like I'm struggling to remember to think of a movie where I'm like, oh yeah, Chevy Chase was awesome in that. The one thing that I can think of, and if he ever heard this podcast, sorry, Mr. Chase, but like,
I'm not sorry.
I actually loved him in Community.
Oh yeah, he was great in Community.
Not the first time I watched it. The first time I watched Community, I didn't get Pierce. I was like, this character is annoying. I don't get it. when I watched it through again, I was like, oh, this is great. Pierce is great. And I actually think Chevy Chase is good. If he had kept his mouth shut, I probably would have thought that, oh, he's a good actor. He's, he's capable. He's capable of doing this. But I think you talked about, like, you were like, he's been an asshole the last 5 years. I actually think we're old. I think it was like 15 years ago when he was being a major asshole.
Well, no, I think he's been an asshole his whole life. It's only in the last 10 to 15 years that we've known just how much of an asshole he's been.
Sure.
I mean, it goes all the way back to Saturday Night Live. Like, there are stories about him at Saturday Night Live that were just, like, terrible. Like, just horrible.
Yeah. And I think you brought up that he almost made one of our favorites.
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter quit directing because he was just such a terrible experience for him. And that was a movie I'd never heard of until you brought it up.
It's not good. Yeah, I don't like it. But
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it has some cult status. I don't know, but like
I'm sure it does. I mean, all Carpenter has some cult status, but
yeah, and I'm not a fanboy over Carpenter. I just like some of his stuff, but like, yeah,
he has the greatest horror film ever made.
Yeah, and he has some stinkers.
No, he does. He has the opposite of the greatest horror film ever made.
Yeah, but yeah, but you'll have to take the thing from my cold dead hands.
Cold dead hands.
So,
yep. Amen to that.
But
I this one was so bad that I actually kind of feel bad for putting you through it.
You don't have to do that. I'm a big boy. I'm the man of my house.
You're a big little boy.
I'm a big little wing.
Oh God.
Blake, what's your Indian name?
I've currently got it as Poop Boy with an I. I did the one joke in this movie that I still thought was pretty damn funny was Jonathan Taylor Thomas, whenever he named Chevy Chase, gave him the name what was the name? Squatting Dog. And he was like, Chevy Chase is like, are you sure that's the one you want to go with? He's like, well, I had a squirrel named Numbnuts. I was like that is the one piece of scripting that was actually on point. Like, the rest of this movie is absolute trash.
Yeah.
Man, it's brutal.
Good way to end the year.
Yeah,
just
utter like depression and sadness.
You know what? I will say, I don't think we've done. We needed to visit these movies. Like, we really did, and this was our trip there.
Yeah.
And now we can hold off until we watch
we run out of films to
Angels
watch
in the Outfield maybe the next time or something.
Oh man.
Blake, I think that's enough about Chevy Chase and Man of the House, unless there's something more.
Nope. Don't care.
What do you have? What are your visions for flyby films in the new year? Is this the end of season 4?
Yeah, this is the end of season 4, and we got 24 episodes this season.
Nice.
We nailed the full season, mainly because we did our 4 or 5 episodes in October. But I mean, we nailed it.
We did the average of twice a month.
Yep,
we got
the average of twice a month.
Yeah,
knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that's the high end of our estimate.
Just good enough.
Just good enough. We do have one more episode coming out about the year, which will be
But
our
that
fan.
will be the first
Yeah.
episode of the next season.
Oh, is that how we're doing it? I always
Yep.
think of it as like the capstone. Or
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of our podcast is that there's really no rhyme or reason to anything.
There's no rules. There might just be no rules.
That's honestly that's the way I like it. Last year and maybe the year before that, it's been the first episode of the new season.
Great.
Which I think works for me because it kind of flies in the face of this bullshit that's happening right now where it's like best of 2025 lists and I'm like, whatever.
I will say I have at least seen every movie that's on our list to choose best of, because it's literally just all of the movies we've watched.
Exactly, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And most of them didn't come from this year. I don't know if any of them came from this year, now that I think about it.
You know what? This is actually going to be a really interesting episode, because we really tried to talk. Like, I've already forgotten about many of the movies we watched.
Yeah. You think back to when the year started, we're talking like, do you remember, I can't remember the title of it, but it's the one about the coal mining.
Oh,
that was like the second episode. And I can't remember the name of it.
It's like Merdinger or something like that.
Malawi.
Malaway. Yeah, we're getting there.
Malawan.
Madawan.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, I mean, that feels like last year when we did that.
You know what we should do? We should just have an episode where we try, without looking at anything, episodes, try to come up with all the movies we watched, and like it's just like you and me going back and forth saying, Marmaduke, Mastiff,
Memeograph.
And then we'll like hit these really excited high points where we get really happy and like scream a little bit when we get one. And then we just have to do that 24 times.
You know what's funny is that it's almost one of those things where I feel like we, if it wouldn't take so freaking long, we should make that our end of year list. We have to come up with the movies, and only the ones we come up with are the ones we're allowed to rank.
Yeah. Really funny. Anyway, back to my question. What
drive visions for this podcast?
Yeah. What's your dream for the podcast?
I honestly think until we just like literally run out of movies that have been forgotten, this is working well for us.
This is good. And you know what?
There are moments where I miss like our deep dive into directors, but at the same time I'm like, most of the directors we want to deep dive into are known. Like, would I like to watch every Jeff Nichols movie again? Yes, I would. But would that be terribly interesting? No, not really.
And you know what? There's other podcasts where people can do that.
Jeff Nichols gets covered. He's good.
Yeah.
Although his bike riders got shafted.
That's true. I still need to watch it.
That movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Also, just throwing this out there, Jeff Nichols, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on the podcast.
Yeah,
we will watch. If you're interested, we would watch any movies you want us to watch.
We do have potentially some big names coming next year, though.
Oh well, let's keep those.
Yeah, let's keep on the download because you never know when they might just cut ties. Like, what's his name? Jonathan Berman. Is that guy?
The last time we started talking,
I've almost forgotten him.
He's perfect for the podcast now. I do think we should cover a Jonathan Berman movie. That would
mainly
be
the Alien one.
Yeah.
Well, no, we don't want to talk about 60s communes. Bullshit. That's bullshit.
Well, we actually have that screener. I don't know if it's still valid. Like, it's probably a dead link at this point. But yeah,
I mean, this is just a note to people who are like looking for podcasts to like interview their people. Like, make sure you listen to them before you reach out. I'm just pointing it out. Like,
do you think that's what happened? Or do you think
I
it
have no
was
doubt. I have no doubt.
that? No. I know she didn't listen, and I know he didn't listen. But do you think the reason why they stopped responding and giving us like actual tangible like answers
Yeah.
was because they decided to listen a little bit and they were like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
there's no doubt. They listened
Yeah.
to like probably the first like 15 minutes of an episode and they're like, oh, shit.
This is
What have
not
we
what
gotten
we
ourselves
want.
into?
This is not what we want.
But that's clearly like that's denoting the fact that she may not know how to do her job. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there.
That was one of the best things to happen to us this year.
It really was. I mean, it couldn't have ended better.
It was such a good up and down topsy turvy story.
I'm gonna have to go check and see if that link is still active.
Yeah,
not because I want to watch it, but because I want to see if it's still active.
I kind of want to watch it. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll choose a Jonathan Berman movie as one of my choices. I like this format. I had a lot of fun with it this year.
Yeah.
I liked not choosing things. And also, I think our guests, like, when we tell them kind of the rules, they're like, oh, this is kind of fun. So yeah. I think it's like a well-received gimmick, which is good.
And honestly, it's gotten to where we've seen movies we wouldn't have normally watched. So
yeah. No, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, anything else?
Well, no.
Okay.
No, I'm tired. I still got 2 more weeks of work before I can, call it quits for the year.
Same. Although both of my weeks are 4-day weeks, so
you son of a bitch.
I know. Dude.
All right. Bye.